When Practical Magic first hit theaters on October 16, 1998, it received mixed reviews and didn't break even on its budget, but over the years, it developed a cult following that helped it become known as one of the best witch movies. Beyond the interesting story about a family curse, magic, and romance, part of what keeps people returning to Practical Magic is its star cast, which includes Sandra Bullock as Sally Owens and Nicole Kidman as Gillian Owens. At its core, Practical Magic is about sisterhood, with Bullock and Kidman developing great chemistry. Unfortunately, it was the only time the two stars shared the big screen, which made it even more special. With Practical Magic 2 recently announced, Kidman and Bullock will hopefully reunite on screen as the Owens sisters. Little has been revealed about the sequel yet, but Practical Magic is worth the rewatch for viewers to refresh themselves on the plot, or a first watch for those unfamiliar with the late 1990s cult classic. Over 25 years later, there's still a lot to talk about and be explored with Practical Magic. How Sally got rid of Jimmy's spirit in Practical Magic's ending. Sally and her aunts used more than magic. In Practical Magic, the Owens sisters were painted as opposites. Sally was careful, calm, and down-to-earth, while Gillian was larger-than-life and always searching for a new adventure, usually with a lover. Gillian left their Aunt Frances and Aunt Jet's home as a young woman to be with a guy and had been traveling ever since. While Sally was settling down with her husband and two daughters, Gillian was with a Bulgarian named Jimmy Angelov, who likened himself to cowboys. When Gillian called a now-widowed Sally looking for help after Jimmy hit her, Sally came to pick her up and bring her home. Unfortunately, Jimmy had other plans, taking them hostage before Sally accidentally killed him by putting too much belladonna in his tequila instead of the amount meant to sedate him. This kicked off a slew of crazy events, with a failed attempt to resurrect him to avoid murder charges leading to them killing him again and burying him in their aunt's garden. However, Jimmy's spirit never died in Practical Magic. He left little hints that he was still around and eventually possessed Gillian. The Owens women had been ostracized from everyone else in their town because of their magical powers, but Sally was able to rally the townswomen to make a coven and help exorcise the violent Jimmy from Gillian's body. It was a great display of the power of community and women in particular. Yet, when the exorcism seemed to be hurting Gillian as much as Jimmy, Sally interrupted it and came up with another plan. She lured Jimmy with tequila, only to cut Gillian's hand as a younger Gillian had once done to her to form a blood pact. This brought Gillian back and Jimmy was banished for good. In the end, Practical Magic showed that the blood bond between sisters was stronger than any magic, dark or otherwise, the Owens women curse explained. Was the Practical Magic curse real? Caprice Benedetti as Marie Owens in Practical Magic.jpg. At the beginning of Practical Magic, Aunt Frances and Aunt Jet explain the Owens women's curse to a young Sally, Camilla Bell, and a young Gillian, Laura and Criswell. The story goes back 3 centuries to their ancestor, Maria Owens, who used magic to survive an attempted execution for witchcraft. However, Maria accidentally cursed the Owens women when she cast a spell to prevent her from ever falling in love again when the father of her unborn child abandoned her. From there on, every man an Owens woman loved was doomed to die prematurely. Sally and Gillian went to live with their aunts after their father died, causing their mother to also die of a broken heart. Despite her best efforts to never fall in love so she could avoid the curse, Sally's husband, Michael, died as well. When an Owens woman hears or sees the Death Watch beetle, they know their love will die shortly after, and Michael was killed when he was struck by a car. However, Aunt Jet didn't believe in the curse, claiming the deaths were incidental. Whether she was saying this to avoid scaring the girls or not is unknown. However, investigator Gary Howlett, who came to find out more about Jimmy's sudden disappearance, later told Sally, "Curses only have power when you believe them." Thus, it's possible that the Owens women's belief in and fear of the curse in Practical Magic manifested it to come true. The symbolism of Gary's badge explained. Sally's speech on magic had a deeper meaning. Aidan Quinn as Gary Howlett holding up his badge looking scared in Practical Magic.jpg. As aforementioned, Gary arrives in Practical Magic to investigate Gillian and Sally, whom he, rightfully, believes had something to do with Jimmy's disappearance death. While Gillian has no trouble lying to him, Sally, who eventually catches feelings for Gary, has a harder time. He knows they're not being completely honest and the rumors of their magic and the curse make him even more skeptical. At one point, Gary confronts Sally about being a witch, and she jokes with him about her magic. However, when he tells her about rumors of devil magic, Sally, who doesn't like to use her powers and often looks down on magic, tells him, "There's no devil in the craft." Sally adds magic isn't just spells and potions, and likens it to Gary's police badge. She says to Gary,